Good Saturday morning, friends. Come on in, have a seat, grab a cup of coffee. We're going to make some breakfast. We are going to make a savory breakfast cookie. Now they're not chocolate chip, although that would be delicious. These are filled with eggs and sausage and delicious things. Now this particular recipe is low carb, but don't let that fool you. Just because something's low carb does not mean it's not going to be delicious. It will be. So if you've never worked with almond flour, I suggest you do it. It's a really good alternative to regular flour. I'm not gonna lie, the texture is a little bit different. But if you're doing low carb or you have gluten sensitivity, this is a good alternative. And just try it. If you don't have any of those elements, still give it a try, because Brock, my husband, if he eats bread, a lot of times he will swell and it'll make his joints hurt. So almond flour is a great alternative. I made cornbread with this. He loves it. The family loves it. So give it a try. Don't be afraid. This just came from Walmart, and it's just I prefer the super fine almond flour. Okay, let's get to the recipe. It's very few ingredients. Let's get started. Preheat your oven to 375, and you want to pre-cook some sausage because whatever kind of meat you want, but pre-cook the sausage. If you're going to use sausage, pre-cook it so it's cool. I'm having sausage. Now, you can add whatever meat you want. You can add whatever veggies you want. Of course, I haven't been to the store, so I don't have any fresh peppers or anything like that. So think omelet, whatever you want. Mushrooms, onions, peppers, tomatoes, spinach. The world is your breakfast oyster. Do what you want. Haven't been to the store still. We're still surviving, clearly. So I'm just going to do some meat and cheese. So inside of my bowl here, these are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, teaspoon of baking powder, 1 cup of shredded cheese, 3 beaten eggs, meat of your choice. I'm going with sausage because I have that in my fridge, and I have these little bit of real bacon bits left, and we'll add into, and whatever seasonings you like. That's your personal preference also, but I would definitely start with some salt and pepper. So I got some salt. This is white pepper. Those are gonna be mine. I'm gonna put these over here so I don't knock them on the floor. So how's everybody Saturday morning going? I hope it's going well. I've been doing chores before I have to leave for work. I leave for work have to be at work at 4 on Saturdays. So I've been up. I've done a load of laundry. I'm getting ready to put in the dryer. Swept. Gonna mop while these are baking. All right. So we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. There. Just catching up on chores, so I don't have to do them on Sunday. A little bit of Aleppo pepper for me. If you're not familiar with Aleppo pepper, it's a milder red chili flake, and I love it. A little bit of onion powder. Chop up an onion if you want. I'm too lazy this morning. All right. We're going to give that a quick whisk. Now we've got the almond flour, 3/4 of a cup, and we're going to do it's a half tea. Let me check my recipe. Listen, because I don't want to mess these up. I've not made these before. So, okay. Yeah, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I was right. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We are trying a new recipe together. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to give that a stir with the almond flour. Put that aside. Now, I was seeing how long. I think these cook 10 to 12 minutes. You just want to make sure everything's set. So I will let you know the cooking time when we come back while they're baking. Okay, so we've got our 3 beaten eggs and our seasoning in here. We're just going to add this flour mixture in here, this almond flour. I'm going to give it a whisk a little bit at a time. I've always found that this with a whisk is a little bit easier to incorporate the almond flour, from my experience. I make pancakes with almond flour, and they are absolutely delicious. They're low carb because I love pancakes and waffles. And they will raise my blood sugar pretty high. So if I make it with almond flour, I don't get that same effect. All right, looks like we've got our almond flour incorporated pretty good. I want to make sure I get that baking soda all incorporated in there. Next come the meats and the cheese. So I've got my sausage, 4 ounces of sausage, or whatever kind of meat. If you want turkey sausage, bacon, whatever kind of meat, ham, or no meat. You could do strictly veggies. That's up to you. Like I said, any veggie will work, honestly. I've got this leftover bacon that I'm going to go ahead and use up. Might as well. There we go. And then we have our 1 cup of cheddar cheese. This is looking good already, friends. Give that a stir. So it's supposed to be like the consistency of cookie dough, which it totally looks like. Oh, Krista. Come back, little sausage. Get it all stir. This comes together super quick. This is my kind of morning recipe. Now, I'm sure that you could lay this flat in like a little baking dish and cook it that way, and it would be just fine. But I want to do what the recipe says and make little cookies, because how cute is that? Kids will love these. Or an adult. I'm just going to grab it up by a tablespoon. Now, I've got my baking pan here with some nonstick foil. You could use parchment paper. Just kind of laying these out here like you would a cookie. I don't know how big. I didn't really read to see how big they made them. The recipe said about 2 grams of carbohydrate per cookie. Now, I guess that would depend on how big you make those. So you might want to punch in your own carbs if you're counting your carbohydrates. I'm just making them how big I think I'd like them. So we got 2, 3 so far, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I should have got a bigger pan. I don't think they will spread too much from baking, so I'll get them kind of close together here. Last one. Hopefully they hold together when cooking. We will see. It'll be a surprise for the both of us. All right, see all that goodness out there. So 2, 4, 6, 8, looks like 10. So you could triple it, double it, half it, whatever works for you. There they are, our savory low-carb breakfast cookies. I'm gonna put them in the oven. Like I said, it's 375, and I will let you know how long for my oven. I'm gonna set it for 12 minutes, so we will go from there. How's that sound? All right, be right back to show you the finished product, give them a taste, and let you know how long it took to bake them. Go do something fun while you're waiting. I'm gonna mop the floors. They are out of the oven, 12 minutes, but what I did was I flipped them because they got so crispy on the bottom, and I wanted to do that on the other side. I flipped them and put them in for another 2 minutes. That was 14 minutes total. The flipping is optional, so let's give them a try. For whatever reason, I thought these might be good with some sugar-free syrup. So I'm gonna try it first without it and then see. Let's give it a try here. Look, they baked up really nicely. Here we go. Those are delicious. I'm not gonna lie, they'd be so good with peppers if I had some peppers, but they're delicious as they are. Listen, I think these would freeze well. Put these in a Tupperware container, grab you one every morning, heat it up. Try some syrup. Mason, I'm home alone, so Mason would absolutely go crazy for these. These are delicious. Let's go try with some syrup. I know I'm talking my mouth full, I'm sorry. One little bite of syrup. Oh. Friends, that's sugar-free syrup, or if you use regular syrup, that syrup and that combination, woo-hoo-wee! That's a winner. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have my breakfast. Alicia, once again, thank you for all my cute camping stuff, and I'm gonna read this camping book while I am eating my breakfast. I'm so excited to get our camper back. So I guess he had to order some things because, you know, you just can't find parts laying around for a 1984 camper willy-nilly. So I'm excited to go on my first camping trip, and when I do, I'm taking you all with me. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have my breakfast. Have a great Saturday. Try this, whether you're doing low carb or gluten-free or whatever. This is a great recipe for just your average everyday person. Look at those. You can half it, triple it, double it, whatever you want to do. It's your world. Thanks for stopping by my world. I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.